Happy birthday, Fannie Lou Hamer. Thank God for Fannie Lou Hamer. But you know what, thank God for Stockton College and Dr. soon-to-be President Harvey Kesselman and Dr. Patricia Reed Merritt, because they represent the excellence that Stockton has always sought to have. And they represent the diversity and excellence at the same time that we know is possible in New Jersey and in this country. I'm really excited about being here today, and I understand that Stockton College/University is one of the only schools in not just the state, but the country that actually pauses to recognize Fannie Lou Hamer on her birthday and the magnificent sacrifices everyday ordinary person used by God to do something extraordinary did and brought to our country.
Question, what is it about Richard Stockton College that led to you all falling in love with such a freedom fighter like Fannie Lou Hamer? I said to myself, there must be some deep connection between Richard Stockton and Fannie Lou Hamer, because Malefi said it so well. There's no other institution of higher learning in the United States that salutes this spiritual giant, artistic giant, and political giant, Fannie Lou Hamer.
Fannie Lou Hamer at a mass meeting. And from that mass meeting, she went to register to vote. I was in the bus that took her to register to vote. Now you got to understand, Fannie Lou Hamer was unlike most people. She was a religious fundamentalist. She was a political pragmatist. She was a very gregarious person who loved people, but who didn't take anything from anyone.
She said, you know, Gray, I really messed up, didn't I? I said, what do you mean you messed up? She said, I didn't read very well, did I? I said, well, you know, that's a matter of opinion. I thought you did very well. I said, but may I share something with you? And she said, yes, by all means. I said, you don't need a script. You really don't need a script, because once you are clear on what you're going to talk about, you can say it much better than any script writer I know. And everybody in the audience will understand what it is that you have to say. And I may be wrong, but I don't recall ever seeing her deal with the script from that time forward.
Would have challenged us to do. When she challenged the Democratic Party in 1964, she simply wanted to have a seat at the table, even if it meant she had to bring in a folding chair. I want to have a seat at the table. I want to have a say in the government of my country. And she was beaten for that. She was jailed for that. She was marginalized for that. We shouldn't forget that this occurred just a few decades ago. We shouldn't forget that there was a struggle for civil rights in this country, a struggle for voting rights.
See, Fannie Lou Hamer did not care. She did not care. She refused to accept inequality. Now, it might be useful at this moment to step back and talk about the rules. See, Fannie Lou Hamer wanted us to have one set of rules, but she also exemplifies the kind of person who's going to go get it. We live in a go-along-to-get-along society. We live in a society of half measures. We don't want to call anybody out because it's too delicate to call folks out. Fannie Lou Hamer was not having that. She was sick and tired of being sick and tired of being the invisible black woman. I want you to be as sick and tired as Fannie Lou Hamer was about injustice. Because when you become that sick and that tired, you'll do something to make a difference.
So here we are, more polarized than ever. And civil rights has become a polarizing issue when once upon a time it was an American issue, and there was moral authority associated with standing up for civil rights.
Because Fannie Lou Hamer was an American revolutionary. Oh, yes, she was. She kept track of the vicious legacy of white supremacy and connected it with the vicious legacy of imperial arrogance, and also was always willing to be humble and to bear witness, not in a spirit of self-righteousness, but a spirit of resiliency. And no, she didn't go to college, but at least 2 colleges went through her because she was wise. She wasn't obsessed with what too many of us talk about these days, smartness. Let the phones be smart. Let human beings be wise.
And when I lay myself down to sleep, I know each and every single day I did my damn best to help our people. And I don't do it for the shine, and I don't do it for the vine. I'm certainly not a famous person. I ain't in jet, ebony, or essence. But I do it for Fannie. And I do it for Ella. I do it for my mom, who still works. I do it for my grandmother, graduated from school at 16. I do it for the women that came before me and the women and men after. She taught us this chant. And it goes, chant down Babylon, BYP is the bomb. We ready, we coming. We ready, we coming. And I didn't know what chant down Babylon meant, so I looked it up. Sorry, I'm 29. So, chant down Babylon was a song by Bob Marley. And so to the Rastafarians, Babylon was a symbol of oppression. So to chant down Babylon means to speak to people and put positive messages into the world. It means to speak to people about the laws of God and how to live together and to promote life. So we said, chant down Babylon, BYP is the bomb. We ready, we coming. And so I wanted to do that with you all today because I need for you all to understand. I need for people of Richard Stockton, of New Jersey, of America to understand that the young people here are ready and they're coming.
Fannie Lou, in my own memory, has always been so important. She was always the great hero from my mother of the civil rights movement. She always talked about how you hear always about Martin Luther King or Rosa Parks, but it was really Fannie Lou. You know, Fannie Lou who was on the ground, Fannie Lou who was a sharecropper herself, who was a child laborer picking between 200 and 300 bales of cotton as a child, and Fannie Lou who was beaten so badly by the police that she suffered permanent injuries. I think that I'm honored to be giving this talk and remembering Fannie Lou Hamer, and to really think about her in a moment that I'll be talking about today of Black Lives Matter, of Ferguson, of Baltimore, and of Charlotte, and to think back to that civil rights generation as really having experienced and mobilized in exactly the ways that we see young people today.